Hi all, it's Robbie. I'm roaming through the garden today and I wanted to show you my Moro Blood Orange tree. It's got a lot of flowers. We've picked a lot of the fruit already, so it's pretty much done fruiting for this year as far as ripe fruit, and now it's starting its new crop. But looky here, looky. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, you couldn't get any redder than that. That one's about ready to come off. And there is still some more inside the tree in there. And there's some more on the top, which is not ready yet. They're still orange and they will get even redder. But it's got a ton of flowers already. So it's getting ready to do its thing again. So we should have more oranges as the months go on. We've got a whole bunch in the house we've been eating. This is a great citrus tree to get for your garden. I will say that if you like citrus, you should try to find a blood orange tree for your garden. It's very low on acid. It's very sweet. It's got a very different taste to it. And some people, I've got a friend that cannot eat oranges at all. He said the acid burns the inside of his mouth. But yet when it comes to the blood oranges, he has no problem, no issue with the blood oranges. I think this one's a semi-dwarf. Got this at one of the hardware stores, walked in there one day and saw that they had a couple. So we bought a tree. It's sat dormant for quite a few years, even though it had some little ones on there. It never really did anything. So Gary put around there probably about a good foot of wood chips down here, and it just changed the entire tree. The tree just took off. All the trees took off. But today I want to just talk about blood oranges. Look at that in there. Isn't that beautiful? And it just feeds off the wood chips. He put wood chips, and you don't have to water it all the time. The soil stays nice and damp. The tree loves it. It's not waterlogged. Citrus doesn't like to be waterlogged, but it stays damp because they do need water. If they don't have enough water in the ground, you'll start to get shriveled up fruit. So you don't want that. But look at this. Let's see if we can look under it. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Oops, there's one on the ground. I think I better collect that one. Oh, that's a beautiful one. It must have just fell off. There's another one under there. I'll probably grab that one soon too. But it's full of flowers. I'm trying to see if I see little oranges yet, but not yet. I absolutely love the way the buds smell. The flowers, when they open, there's nothing nicer than a citrus tree right out your kitchen window, because it just blows in when there's a breeze and it smells so good. But look at that. So anyways, you know, this is a good addition to anybody's garden. You don't find blood oranges in your regular grocery stores. My thoughts on that is most likely because their shelf life is not as good as some of the other oranges. They don't like selling oranges that have seeds. And the blood oranges, they do have seeds to them. Not too many, but you know, it depends. I have grown them from seed. That's interesting. If you cut open an orange and it's a very ripe orange, you can grow the seeds. What you have to remember with orange trees, citrus trees, when you want to grow a citrus tree from a seed, do not let the seed dry out. When you cut your orange open, take the seeds and immediately put them in potting soil and keep them damp. If they dry out, the odds are they're not going to make a comeback. So when the fruit falls to the ground like that and ends up under a tree, it will feed off the fruit and the fruit will rot. This is how nature would work in the wild. If you found the wild orange trees, it would rot into the ground, bugs would come, eat the orange, break it open, then it would go into the damp soil and it would set root and grow. But they never dry out because they would feed off the citrus on the inside, all the water on the inside of the fruit. So if you want to try growing orange trees from seed, that would be the way to do it. Are you going to end up with a blood orange tree? I don't know, because a lot of these are grafted. So you don't know what you're going to end up with, and you know, you're looking at 4 or 5 years till you get any fruit. But I mean, it's fun. You can still do it, and it's not a total loss. if you want to take the time and grow an orange tree, and the citrus on it is really bad, just go find somebody with a blood orange tree, or any orange tree that you like, and graft it. And then you can still use the tree you grew, so it doesn't, so you're not, there's no loss. And that would be a fun thing to do. So anyways, I'm gonna grab a couple oranges. I'm not gonna pick any off the tree right now because I have a whole bunch in the house. As long as you leave the fruit on the tree, they won't go bad. That's one thing I have found. So you can leave oranges on the tree, pick them as you need them. Once you bring them in the house, you don't know how long they're going to last for, and I don't tend to put them in the refrigerator, but you can. You can always slice them up if you want to use them for juice or something, and put some in the freezer too. But we leave them on the tree, we pick them as we need them, and of course if they fall off, we grab those. And that's one thing that's really nice about citrus. You can pick them as you need them. You don't have to just pick them and then just keep them in the house, because they will start to rot. They'll mold if you don't use them within a week or so. So I'm not picking any. Like I said, I've got them in the house. I've got the one I just picked up off the ground. I've got that one down there on the ground. And now we can go in the house. Let's go slice one up. But really, if you can get some wood chips, and I'm not talking about wood chips from the hardware store, I'm talking about fresh wood chips that have been shredded off by tree trimmers. That's the best thing. And just put it all around the tree and they will feed off of that. What it is the top layer won't look like much. It'll just look like wood chips. But underneath is where it's starting to break down. So the top layer will never break down when you're looking at it, straight at it, because it will tend to get dry. But just underneath, like even an inch, it's going to start to break down. And of course, the deeper you go, the more you'll see it turns into soil, a compost. And that's what the plant's feeding on. And these citrus really need it, because there was a big difference. It sat here for a long time, doing nothing. We've had it for quite a few years, and then once Gary brought in the wood chips, and he dragged them all over here and started putting them under the trees, the citrus trees, they just took off instantly. So with that, let's go in the house, take the citrus I've got in my hand, and cut it in half, and let's go take a look and see what it looks like inside. So here are the 2 blood oranges we picked in the yard. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the juice comes out. It's so pink. Look at that. They're so red and they're so pretty. What I usually do is I just take them and I slice them up. And you can eat it straight out of the skin. The white of the orange is good for you too, so don't worry about if you get some of that. And look at that. Aren't they beautiful? So sweet. But that's what they look like on the inside. I'm talking with my mouth full. Now, if you wanted to try to grow some of the seeds for fun, when you pop them out, get them right away into some potting mix and keep them damp. And if the fruit is ripe, which obviously this is ripe, the seeds are probably good. And I would, if you want, just put a whole bunch. I would put a whole bunch in a pot, keep them wet, not logged, not waterlogged, but just damp, and they'll grow. Now, are they going to grow true from years from now? I don't know. Like I said, you could always graft them. That's only if you want to bother with the seeds. But you don't want to dry the seeds out. If you dry the seeds out, the odds are you'll get 0 germination on them. So that's them. If you pick them too early, they'll be more orange on the inside. But aren't they gorgeous? I mean, look at that. You juice them, eat them. We just eat them. We just slice them up and we just eat them just like that. Just cut it off, eat them. And then I compost the skin. Being that citrus, doesn't break down as fast as a lot of other fruits and vegetables, I just cut the skin into smaller pieces when I feel like it. Sometimes I don't. And then just throw it in your compost. Even if it takes a long time to break down, it doesn't matter. It makes little homes for all the critters that are there, your earthworms. They'll be able to get under there, but it'll break down. So that's it. That's the blood orange, and I really say it's worth it. If you're looking for citrus, go ahead and get one of these trees. I believe that they don't sell them in the stores because they don't hold up as well as some of the other oranges that they have created that will last longer, shelf life. And that's why a lot of fruits you can't find in regular grocery stores, because the shelf life is not as long, or they might bruise easy, some fruits. But these, once you pick them and get them in, you want to really eat them within a few days. But that's it. So they're very, very pink and red on the outside. They do vary. And what you do is you pull them on the tree. If they come right off, then they're ready to go. Then they're ready to be harvested. And if you pull them and they don't come off the tree, you're pulling and it's like it's a fight. The tree's trying to hold on to it. Then leave it a little longer. You saw one of these came off the ground, probably the reddest one. And the other one we picked, but it came right off. So that's it. Try a blood orange. Check out your hardware stores, your nurseries. If they don't have them, ask. I've had some great nurseries that I've asked for things and they've actually gone out of their way to find things for me. So ask if you're interested. And for a quick ending, Little Bean sent me this pot a while ago and I keep it on my windowsill. And I've got dill growing out of here and I have a little bit of mint. Sometimes I make mint tea and I shove the little pieces in there and they grow. Well, if you can see all the bright green little leaves in here, these things, those are orange trees. Bunch of orange trees. I even have peppers growing. See what I do? This just came out of the oranges, the blood orange. I just shove it in there. It's got potting mix in. Sits on my windowsill on a little platter, and I water it every day, and I just shove in the seeds, and they grow that easy. This is an orange tree, this is an orange tree, this is an orange tree. There's a whole bunch of them. That's an orange tree. So they're all through here. And I've got some outside, even on my deck in pots. I just throw a bunch of seeds in there and they grow. So that's all you have to do, is throw seeds in a pot. I keep it on my windowsill. See, isn't that pretty? She hand painted this for me. So I keep it on my windowsill and I throw all kinds of seeds in there. And so you can grow oranges. And if I wanted to, if I decide I could break this all apart, gently take them apart and replant them separate later on. I do it for fun. See, there's a seed here. And just shove them in there under the dirt. They have to be shoved under the dirt because they can't dry out. Once they dry out, they're really no good. That's why you don't see people selling orange seeds. Because you would have to buy the whole orange. You would have to buy, if you wanted orange seeds from somebody for fun to grow, you would have to ask them to send you a whole orange. And it wouldn't matter if the orange arrived to you rotten. The seeds would be perfectly happy on the inside. But you want the whole fruit with the seed and all. But yeah, just take all the seeds and just shove them underneath the dirt. And sometimes I don't. I drop them in there and they don't grow, of course. The ones on the top. Doesn't matter. I'm just tossing them out of the way. But when they get under there, boy, they take off and grow. Sometimes you'll even open an orange and you'll find the seed is turning green and you can see the leaves starting to come out. But that's how easy it is. So if you want to grow orange seeds for fun, or any seeds while you're working in the kitchen, put a pot on your windowsill, keep it damp, and throw your seeds in there. And then I can put my mint outside, I can put the dill outside. There's some peppers coming in here, and that's pretty much it. That's all I've been throwing in there. So have a great day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. And thanks, Little Bean, again for the pot. Bye-bye.